And now it's time for Story Time with Dave. Woohoo! Hey everybody, it's me, Dave. And I was just thinking, this whole shelter-in-place thing in California is really fun. But I was thinking, it's kind of also a little weird, isn't it? I mean, I don't get to see my friends as much as I'm used to. And that's a little weird. I mean, they're in their houses and I'm in mine. And then I started thinking, what we used to do all the time as a family? We used to all come together and I would read them a story. I'd read my kids a story. But they're older now. But then I thought about my friends who have kids who are not quite as old. My kids are in junior high and high school, but some of my friends have kids and I'm used to being around them. And I thought, man, I kind of miss them. And then I thought, what if I read them a story? So I was thinking about my friends like Olivia and Flint and Katie and London and Harper and Zoe and Skylar and all my friends' kids. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if I read them a story? So as I'm reading them a story, I thought maybe I could read a story to you too, because you're kind of my friend too. So I thought it would be fun. So would you like me to read you a story? I think it would be really fun to read a book. Can I read you a book? Awesome. So cool. So this is one of my favorite books of all time. This is an awesome book. It's the Collins Robert French Dictionary. This is just a huge smash in France. Kids love it. It's super popular. What's that? Do you think that this is a good book to read right now? A story? No? Well, fine. I guess we'll just have to switch it up and we'll go with a different book. Now, this book is actually one of my favorites and I think you're going to like it way more than a French dictionary. This is a book called The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. It's by Eugene Trivizas and Helen Oxenbury. And this is one of my favorite books of all time. Okay, so let me read this. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, but Dave, the story is the three little pigs and the big bad wolf. What's going on with this book? But I'm telling you, this book switches it up, so it's going to be really funny. Okay, so in this story, it's the wolves that are the good guy and the pig that's the big bad pig. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm going to read it to you. I'll try to show you the pictures as best as I can, and let's go ahead and go. Here's the inside. What's up with all these tea kettles? Well, they'll come back and you'll see. So, The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig by Eugene Trivizas, illustrated by Helen Oxenbury. Okay. Once upon a time, there were three cuddly wolves with soft fur and fluffy tails who lived with their mother. The first was black, the second was gray, and the third one was white. One day, the mother called the three little wolves around her and said, "My children, it's time for you to go out into the world. Go and build a house for yourselves, but beware of the big bad pig." "Don't worry, Mother. We will watch out for him," said the three little wolves, and they set off. Soon, they met a kangaroo who was pushing a wheelbarrow full of red and yellow bricks. "Please, will you give us some of your bricks?" asked the three little wolves. "Certainly," said the kangaroo, and she gave them lots of red and yellow bricks. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of bricks. Now, do you know why the kangaroo had so many bricks? Because he played for the Knicks. Now, I love this picture. Look at this picture. This is so funny. Do you see they're building the house and they're building it with bricks? Isn't that crazy? They got cement and they got mortar. So fun. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, the very next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of bricks that the little wolves had built. The three little wolves were playing croquet in the garden. And when they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside and locked the door. Have you ever played croquet? I have. They call it the gentleman's sport, but I've played it, and the tendency to misuse those mallets is overwhelming. Anyway, that's a fun game. So they run inside the house. Oh, look, see the pig in the background? He's all mad. The pig knocked on the door and grunted, little wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves, "by the hair on our chinny chin chins. We will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed, and he puffed. But the house didn't fall down, because it was made of bricks. All right, what's going to happen? But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched a sledgehammer and he knocked the house down. The three little wolves only just managed to escape before the bricks crumbled, and they were very frightened indeed. And I don't know if you can see it, but one of the wolves is carrying away a tea cozy in the teapot, because that's their prized possession. "We shall just have to build a stronger house," they said. Just then, they saw a beaver who was mixing concrete in a concrete mixer. Because that's what beavers do. They build things. You know that? You know that beavers build things. "Please, will you give us some of your concrete?" asked the three little wolves. "Certainly," said the beaver, and he gave them buckets and buckets of messy, slurry concrete. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of concrete. I think concrete's even stronger than bricks, don't you? Yeah, I think so. Especially if they use rebar. No sooner had they finished than the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of concrete that the little wolves had built. They were playing battledore and shuttlecock in the garden, and when they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside their house and they shut the door. The pig rang the bell and said, "Little frightened wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins we will not let you in. Not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. You see this? This is pretty funny. They're playing badminton there. Have you ever played that? Yeah, up here. Woohoo! They're hitting it. It's really fun. And there's the pig climbing over the wall. What's going to happen now? I don't know. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He went and fetched his pneumatic drill and smashed the house down. The three little wolves managed to escape, but their chinny chins were trembling and trembling. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but right there, do you see the tea cozy? There's the teapot. They're going to try to get away with the teapot. And the big bad pig. All right, what's going to happen next? Who knows? "We shall build an even stronger house," they said, because they were just very determined. Just then they saw a truck coming along the road that was carrying barbed wire, iron bars, armor plates, and heavy metal padlocks. "Please, will you give us some of your barbed wire, a few iron bars and armor plates, and some heavy metal padlocks?" they said to the rhinoceros who was driving the truck. "Sure," said the rhinoceros, and he gave them plenty of barbed wire, iron bars, armor plates, and heavy metal padlocks. He also gave them some plexiglass and some reinforced steel, and because he was a generous and kind-hearted rhinoceros. So the three little wolves built themselves an extremely strong house. It was the strongest, securest, safest house one could possibly imagine. They felt absolutely safe. Oh, do you see the house? That's crazy. And the rhinoceros is there. Big bad pig doesn't stand a chance against that house. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling along the road as usual. The three little wolves were playing hopscotch in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside their house, bolted the door, and locked all 37 padlocks. The little pig dialed the video entrance phone and said, "Little frightened wolves with trembling chins, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." So the pig huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed and he huffed, but the house did not fall down. But the pig was not called big and bad for nothing. He brought some dynamite, and he laid it against the house, and he lit the fuse. Do you see the dynamite down here? Oh! and the house blew up. The three little wolves just managed to escape with their fluffy tails scorched. And do you see what he's carrying? He barely got out with his tea leaves in his china teapot. Something must be wrong with our building materials, they said. We have to try something different. But what? At that moment, they saw a flamingo coming down, pushing a wheelbarrow full of flowers. Please, will you give us some flowers? Asked the little wolves. With pleasure, said the flamingo, because it sounds like the flamingo is very kind and generous. So he gave them lots of flowers. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of flowers. Do you think that's going to withstand Little Big Bad Pig? One wall was of marigolds, and one of daffodils, and one of pink roses, and one of cherry blossoms. The ceiling was made of sunflowers, and the floor was a carpet of daisies. They had water lilies in their bathtub, and buttercups in their refrigerator. It was rather fragile, and it swayed in the wind, but it was so beautiful. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of flowers that the little wolves had built. He rang the blue bell at the door and said, "Little frightened wolves with the trembling chins and the scorched tails, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. See the china teapot? And they're all scared. But as he took a deep breath, ready to huff and puff, the big bad pig smelled the soft scent of the flowers. It was fantastic. It was so lovely. The scent was so lovely. The pig took another breath, and then another. And instead of huffing and puffing, he began to sniff. He sniffed deeper and deeper until he was quite filled with the fragrant scent. His heart grew tender, and he realized how horrible he had been. Right then, he decided in his heart he would become a big good pig, not a big bad pig. Then he started to sing and to dance the tarantella. At first, the wolves were a little bit worried. It might be a trick. But soon they realized that the pig had truly changed. So they came running out of the house. And they started playing games with him. First they played Pig Pog and then Piggy in the middle. And when they were all tired, they invited him into the house. Doesn't that sound like fun? That's fun. And they offered him some tea and strawberries and wolfberries and asked him to stay with them as long as he wanted. And the pig accepted, and they all lived happily ever after. Tea. And that is the story of the three little wolves and the big bad pig. This is a fantastic story. And tomorrow, I'm going to read you and my other friends a different book. But for now, I want to say good day and good night. And I hope you have a great night, because tomorrow is going to be a great day. But I also know it's a little hard, so here's what I want you to do. Boys and girls, if you could just do me a favor right now and just say to your mom and dad, just say it with me. Say, "Mom and Dad, I love you. And I will appreciate everything you're doing for me. And I know that you're using the screens as a babysitter, but I know you're also trying really hard." Anyway, say hi to your mom and dad. Give them a big hug and a kiss. Listen to them and be kind to one another, because we're all in this together. So, until tomorrow, I will see you later. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. So, have a good night. Bye.